So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in. So today we have another unconventional side hustle. Again, this is something that people are searching for, looking for. As the economy is just struggling in general, people are looking for extra ways to put money in the household, food on the table, cover bills, etc. There's a lot of people that are struggling right now. So that's the reason we're doing this whole series on side hustles. We're trying to put out at least 2, sometimes 3 videos per week on side hustles. Again, I do have a busy schedule myself, but I do try to put out at least 1 for sure a week, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 per week on side hustles. So this side hustle in particular is a side hustle I used to do, and it wasn't necessarily a side hustle, it was a job, but it is something that you can start on your own. Because the company I worked for was like a franchise company, so you can go out and do this on your own. Since I had a know-how of how to do this, I used to go out and do these jobs on the side because I already knew how much to charge. I already knew how to do everything. I already had bought my own equipment to do these things. Because when you're in construction, it's kind of funny, but it's true. When you're in construction, which is what we're going to be talking about today, you'll always have people and clients. Just literally, you get a lot of business just by people coming up to you when you're working. People will be like, hey, I see you're doing this. I need this same work done at my residence. How much do you charge? And basically, you can give them the company price, which is going to be a lot more, or you can give them your price to do it after hours on the weekend or a day you're off. So I would get a lot of business like that, but we're going to talk about how much I would make from with the company, with the business itself. Again, this is something I did when I was in college. When I was in college, this was really, really good money for a college student, especially somebody who doesn't have a lot of time. You don't have, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days to dedicate to doing this every single day, every single week, because you're a student. For those of you guys who are watching may not be students, but you may have a full-time job and you're just looking for an extra way to add some income. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. What is it? It is actually fixing tripping hazards or fixing concrete unevenness. Basically, we're going to be cutting down concrete. So at the seams of concrete, sometimes they shift, right? So you have one that's a little bit taller than the other. This creates a tripping hazard, especially for businesses. You're going to have to be, especially for businesses, it does create a tripping hazard. As well for driveways, there's a lot of people in very wealthy neighborhoods who hate having a bump in their driveway. I've had plenty of people come out and reach out to me when I'm working. Hey, I have this little bump in my driveway. It bugs me. How much would you charge me to fix it? So when I was working with the company, how much would I make per day? Again, you can do this on your own, guys. You don't have to go out and start. You don't have to go out and find a company. As long as you get the correct documentation, permits, whatever you need to do these things on the outside by yourself. Again, check with your local area, see what you need, if you need anything. If you're going to be doing this in HOAs, make sure that they are okay with this as well. This is just ideas, but so on a given day, any given day, I'd make between $250 to $350 per day. Now, there were days when I would get bonuses because I would bust my ass. I would work out there all day on my days off. So there are days when I would make $1,000 a day. So what are you doing? You are basically cutting down a tripping hazard. When the concrete begins to get uneven, it creates a hazard or it creates a bump in a driveway. Driveways pay very well. Why? Because it's a long stretch. It's very long. Usually driveways are 12 feet, 16 feet wide, depending if it's a single or double or triple driveway. So they pay very, very well. Now, there is a slope that you have to make them compliant. Again, you can do all this research on your own. I'm not going to go into details about that, but there is a fairly good slope that you would have to get to it. Now, how we charge was by the square inch. We would charge by the square inch to cut these slopes. I don't remember how much they were, but again, this was through the company. But any given day, it was at least $250 to $350 per day. Sometimes I would make up to $1,000. The checks were very good on my days off from school, and I had a full-time job at this time. I guess it wasn't even full-time. I basically had 2 part-time jobs, really. I had another job and I had this side hustle I'm telling you guys about right now. But from this side hustle, I'd work out there maybe 2 days a week, 3 days a week. If there was something going on at school and I didn't have to be there, sometimes when the semesters would change, I would have some classes online, so that would give me more opportunity to make more money. I was bringing in, a couple $1,000s per week just doing this. So it's a very, very lucrative side hustle. And I'm going to tell you the tools you need also to get started. To cut concrete, you're going to notice that not all concrete is made the same. There's different types of concrete out there. But to get started, you're going to need some diamond blades. These are usually about 10-inch to 8-inch diamond blades. And you're also going to need a commercial grade grinder to run these 8-inch and 10-inch blades. Now they're going to be flat. They're going to be running flat. There are some little screws that you can buy and they run flat. They sink into the blade, so you don't leave any lines or anything like that. And of course, you're going to need your PPE. You're going to need a shield, ear protection, goggles if you want to wear goggles or glasses, and you're going to need a vacuum also. Our company basically just kind of jerry-rigged a little vacuum that could attach to the saw itself, so it would pick up the dust as it was coming out. You could easily do the same. They just made like basically a little funnel, duct taped it, and there you go. We had something to pick up all the dust. So that is something that is important at HOAs. HOAs do not like to have dust blowing around on the vehicles, blowing around in the neighborhood. So again, that's something that you are going to have to show to an HOA if you are interested in doing that. But again, make sure you are complying with all the rules and regulations in your city or state. It is a lot of money that you can make per day. It's sometimes more than what most people make per week, especially if you bust your butt. And if you have a lot of time, then even better. But I am going to tell you it's a lot of back-breaking labor, a lot of back-breaking work. You are in your hands and knees just grinding because you are doing driveways, so you're on the floor, on the ground. It's tough. You're going to come home tired. You're going to come home sweaty, stinky, and sore the next day, at least for the couple days until you get used to this. But there is a lot of money in there. If you're willing to put in the work and if you're willing to build up a client base, you can definitely make a lot of money. I'm going to tell you guys how you can get a lot of work with as few clients as possible. And that's going to be going after hospitals, schools, HOAs, and commercial buildings. Those are what we usually targeted because we could get a lot of work, basically a lot of money with dealing with one client. So that was something we would usually get into, is into those businesses, especially for hospitals. They need to be compliant, ADA compliant. You can't have wheelchairs tipping over because the concrete's uneven. So they are more than happy to pay you to go out there and fix their concrete. Again, all you're going to do is just cut it down. And it doesn't take as long as you may think, guys. That's if you buy good blades as well. If you buy good blades, it goes faster. If you buy cheap blades, you're going to be there forever. But hospitals have to be ADA compliant. Schools as well, they need to be compliant. You don't need kids falling and tripping, especially, like I said, at the hospitals. You don't want patients coming out and falling and tripping in their wheelchair or with their little rolly scooter looking thing. It's a problem. So they are more than happy to pay somebody to come out there and fix it. Now, those are just a couple ideas and a couple places that we used to go to. And just for reference, we would be at these locations for a while. When we had HOAs, we'd be in that HOA for 2-3 months. I remember I would stay in Houston on my time off from school, from college. I'd be in Houston for a month. I'd be in Austin for another month. I'd be in anywhere they needed me. That's where I would be. Because I was just hustling, trying to make some money, especially as a college student. So there are ways to make money. It's not easy. It is hard, but again, it does pay very, very well. It's better than making, $7, $8, $10, $12 at McDonald's, unless you prefer the AC. But if you are willing to hustle, you can definitely make, upwards of $1,000 per day doing this. Like I said, it's not easy work. It's backbreaking work. It's tiring. You're going to be exhausted, especially when you just get started into this industry. But yeah, thought I'd share some experiences from me personally, what I used to do as a college student to basically pay my way through school too. Without further ado, guys, appreciate you guys watching. If you gained any value, definitely hit the subscribe button, definitely like and share. Until next time, be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.